Hi, and welcome to Hull & Hull TV. I'm Suzana Popovic-Montag, the managing partner of Hull & Hull, a firm specializing in estate, trust, and capacity litigation. I'm very pleased to have with me today Ian Hull, the founding partner of our firm, and our counsel, David Freedman. Here at Hull & Hull TV, we examine estate, trust, and planning issues as they may affect you. And starting this morning with the fact that we do have David as a special guest, and given that he is a professor at Queen's Law School, we thought we might talk about back to law school essentials. And David, starting with you first, what exactly is a will?
A will is a special kind of a document that someone makes during their lifetime. And usually we think of it as a way to pass property from one generation to another. But if it's done correctly, it can do a lot of things. It can create trusts. It can award temporary guardianship of children. It's a very important document that people should make during their lives.
Ian, David mentioned a trust. What is a trust?
Well, the trust is an operation of law that allows someone to, an historic operation of law that allows someone to give property to someone else, to hold in trust, to look after and to manage for the interests of the beneficiary. So there's a trustee and there's a beneficiary, and the dynamic is clean and it's delineated by legal principles that separate the two: legal ownership, which is in the hands of the trustee, and the beneficial ownership, which is in the hands of the beneficiaries.
David, what are some of the variations in either a will or a trust?
Well, let me talk about trust, because trusts are the much more interesting device. You know, if you imagine a piece of property, usually one person owns it and they can do anything they want with it. When you create a trust, you take that same piece of property and you can divide it up into as many beneficial shares as you want. And it allows, over time, some people to enjoy some parts of the property, like getting income from a working business, or delays some people getting the property, like giving it to a child when they're 21 or 35 or something like that. So that wills and trusts go together very nicely. The will can create a central trust, and then that trustee can do all kinds of things with the property in favor of a lot of different kinds of beneficiaries. So as many ways as you want to structure a trust with compliance with some of the parameters. They can't go on of law. It can't go on forever, but it's the most creative planning device that we have in law.
So it sounds like somewhat of a formal kind of structure that's going to underlie both a will or a trust. Ian, what about non-formal or non-traditional testamentary documents like holograph wills?
Well, we certainly in Ontario and certain jurisdictions across Canada, all jurisdictions across Canada, allow for the opportunity for someone to informally essentially create a will, and that is wholly in their handwriting, signed, and it becomes, and it has testamentary intention. The document speaks to the fact that it is will-like. That will typically fall within the parameters of being sufficient to be a will. The difficulty with those documents is the enforceability of them, because you're using non-traditional method with non-traditional language, and that gives opportunity for all kinds of variations on the theme. What were you really trying to do, what you actually did at law. But it's an opportunity for people who are in circumstances where they need to do a will quickly, and it's as long as it's wholly in their handwriting, signed, and has a testamentary-like sound to it, it's typically an enforceable will document.
So it gets around a little bit of that formality that might otherwise be expected. Well, thank you very much, Ian, David, and thank you for joining us here at Hull & Hull TV.